Hey everybody, welcome back to the Grad Centered Podcast. I hinted at this in our last episode, but today we're going to talk about personality assessments and their role in finding your dream career. So when I talk with families and they tell me, parents in particular, they tell me that their student doesn't know what they want to study, the first stop here is to discuss personality assessments. Now, granted, there are other opportunities beyond personality assessments that we begin to discuss, things like volunteer opportunities and doing informational interviews with friends and family that are maybe in careers of interest. But personality assessments are, in my opinion, the number one way to attach to a satisfactory and fulfilling career for the rest of your life. Why? Because science tells us that personality assessments our personalities don't really change over time. They stay pretty static. And so if we can figure out what our personality is and then tie that to a meaningful career, it can be a really great situation. And I find that many people are interested in this topic when I speak about it, whether it be students themselves or even their parents wishing that they knew this information when they were children instead of listening to other advice out there about how to find maybe the best path that leads to the most money or something that their parents did, etc. So what are these personality assessments that I tell families to check out and to look into when they ask this question about their student needing to find a major or a career pathway? The first that I point to is Myers-Briggs, which many out there know what Myers-Briggs is. And you can do one of two things. Sometimes the counseling center will have an official Myers-Briggs assessment that they can administer, particularly if you're looking at a private school. There may be some personality assessments that your school already subscribes to or is willing to pay to administer to students. So I would check with your counseling office first. If your student's in college, a lot of times the Career Development or the Career Resources Center will have similar tests that they can administer. But in absence of having something better, you can also go online and find free assessments that mimic the Myers-Briggs typology assessment. And so one of my favorites is 16personalities.com. They offer free personality assessments that will give you a Myers-Briggs code. The second that I would say is Strengthsfinder, which is a book. You can do Clifton Strengths and get results based on your different personality types. And again, these are results that can be tied to best fit careers. Finally, another one that I like that I've taken personally is True Colors. Again, great opportunity to figure out about your personality. But to key in on one in particular, the 16 personalities or the Myers-Briggs is a place that I really like to start. And the reason is because you can then take those results and get a book called Do What You Are, which you can get, it's available at local libraries, or you can get on Amazon and get it for a pretty cheap price, and there are many editions, very popular book. You can take your Myers-Briggs code and confirm it in the first part of the book. Then the middle portion of the book is a chapter for each of the 16 personality types. And so you go to your chapter and you read what are different lists of careers and what are the types of occupations that I would be best fit for. Then at the end, you can actually put this all together in a career plan. So that's a great place to start. Get on 16personalities.com, take your personality assessment, then go and get Do What You Are and read through that book and do the exercises. And then after that, you can go into additional discovery. Again, once you're armed with that information, you can go and volunteer. You can go and do summer camps. You can do informational interviews with friends and family and parents. You can connect your kids to those resources so that the student can get that day-to-day practical experience working in that role or shadowing that role to see if it's something that they're really passionate about. These results can also inform curriculum for high school, AP classes, electives that you're taking, all to do this discovery before you go off to college. Because that's the important thing. You want to make sure that you know what you want to do by the time you get to college. At least that's the ideal or the goal that we're shooting for. Because if you don't know what you want to do by that point, then you end up burning a lot of credits at a very high price in college trying to figure out what you want to do. And I have heard stories and know of individuals who have gotten towards the end of college and maybe switched majors at the very end. Maybe you've had an experience like that. And that can be a pretty harmful experience in terms of job opportunities, and then also just spending more money by maybe adding a 5th year in the college experience. So that's what I would say, and that's what I recommend to families. If you're trying to figure out what you want to do personality assessments, especially Myers-Briggs, go and get the book that I recommended, and get on the path towards a degree and a major and job pathway that will be fulfilling for many years to come. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next episode.